welcome or welcome back. I am Tracy,
I'm Nicole.
and we are a tradition with a twist. So today we rejoin Cody and his merry wives. I was going to say merry men, merry wives, back on the Hot Mess Express. So Sister Wives, Season 2, Episode 8.
Sister Wives and Holiday Crisis.
Crisis.
What crisis? We wonder?
Ah, we do wonder. So, this episode also seemed very fillery.
Yeah. Not too much happened. So we're still at the cabin. It's still
Yep.
Christmas time. So just kind of going through activities for Christmas time in the cabin. Kind of starts off, everybody is coughing and hacking and
Yeah.
sounds quite sick.
Yeah.
For Christmas this year, we decided to take the family up to the snowy mountains in Utah and spend Christmas at a remote cabin.
Right now, everybody feels like they're sick, but we're in this winter wonderland, and that's cool.
So it works out, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty gross.
Yeah, Typhoid Mary, somebody. Mary?
Yeah.
Ooh, Typhoid Mary?
Ooh, I think more like Typhoid Robin, but
Well,
okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, so everybody, at least all the adults seem unwell. I think
the
they
kids
showed
too.
some kids
Yeah,
too.
some kids were hacking and coughing and oof.
But then I guess it goes back to what I said the last episode. Ain't nobody dressed for this weather. But anyway, there's a whole heap of snow outside.
Yeah.
Whole heaps.
Yeah. And they're like, the kids are acting like they've never seen snow before, but
Yeah.
it's different when it's, this
Surrounding
thick
you.
and surrounding you.
Yeah.
So they're trying to enjoy some of the outside activities, make a little dip in the hot tub, which helps the teens feel a little better.
Yeah, because they're going through it right now, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they just do some sledding.
Family sledding.
Family sledding. I guess that's one of the main points here. And we have Mary who goes above and beyond.
Yeah.
To infinity and beyond.
She soars.
As she's sledding. They make this whole mound to try and stop themselves as well. But Mary decides to keep going and flies over the top and
Yeah.
hits the house. But, no problems.
Yeah. Guys, you can see we're trying to make something out of nothing because a lot didn't happen. So they're in the cabin. They're sick. They're trying to do activities, trying to make these 4 days just monumental for the family and for the kids because what we come to realize is, in the last episode they did say they made a big decision to move. And so this is their last Christmas in Utah together, and the older kids know this, and of course the adults know this, and so the older kids are really going through it, y'all.
Yeah. Logan, Maddie, Aspen, McKelty, and Hunter. Those are the ones who
The
know.
5 oldest who know.
Yeah.
And what I did like about this episode is that we get the kids' perspective. We see them seated on a couch telling us how they feel, and none of them are okay with this.
We have told some of the older kids.
We told Logan,
Hunter?
Mariah, and Aspen.
Madison.
Yeah.
When my mom told me that we're moving, I told her she couldn't make me go, and I wasn't going. I cried a lot. I just had all these plans, and they're all down the state now.
We're told within a matter of weeks we've got to be out of the state, and then that just kind of sucks everything out, and then you realize I have this very limited time to tie up all these loose ends.
If we stay, there's a potential that our dad could go to jail, and our family would be split up.
We all want to stay together as a family.
Yeah, Logan, Logan is being very much Logan. He's trying to keep them together and realize, it sucks, but, this is what we have to do. So he's kind of the mind, I'm not happy about it, but,
we understand.
This is what it is. We have to move or else we could possibly be separated and no longer be a family.
And I think what I love about the older kids is they all understand why it's necessary. But I do love that they express that they're not really okay with it. But they understand it's what has to happen, right? Because this is the position their sucky parents put them in, and they ain't got no say.
Yeah. Maddie's sad to leave, because her and her friends were gonna be
What?
legends.
They
were gonna be legends in the town.
They had plans. The two who seemed to take it the hardest were Maddie and Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And Hunter almost brought a tear to my eye because he cried. And he was just like, And they were like, well, Hunter never cries. So they were like, Hunter's going to make all the other kids cry. And you could see his emotion was real.
Yeah.
Versus the emotion his daddy showed. Hunter's emotion was real. And Hunter was like, I'm going to leave my little community that I created, my football team, my friends. Like, I know. He was like, I know we don't really have a choice. It's either we leave or we end up being apart from each other anyway because they potentially separate us. So,
yeah.
We're going to go with the better evil? I don't know.
Yeah, but sometimes, let's be real. Lots of kids don't have choices.
Oh, of course.
If your parents are doing something.
You're a kid.
Exactly.
Pretty much goes without saying, you know?
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
All been there. It's just, I don't particularly like his parents. Well, I don't particularly like his father. Let me say that. And so since Daddy is playing big honcho here.
Yes.
In this episode.
Yes.
Oh, Cody's playing big man, y'all.
Well, he's not just playing it, because as Christine says, she doesn't want to go.
Right.
But, I understand, we did choose you as the leader, Cody. And boy, does he take that and run with it.
Well, I'm going to
With
come
hope,
with
in
you.
faith. I've made the
You're
decision.
making a decision for a whole family.
Well, should I not be the person that does that?
You are the leader. I understand that. We chose you to be the leader. I'm just having a really hard time with feeling like there's no possibility of me having a choice.
As we have learned in this country, this is what happens when you pick a sucky leader.
Well,
I'll leave that right there.
Hey. We'll stay a little bit on that vein there, so because Christine, she ends up getting McKelty a cell phone for Christmas because she's like, the fact that we may move. And this is where Cody is like, so
you're still
confused?
Still
you still confused about if we're moving or not?
And she's like, yeah.
And he's like, this is pretty much what's going to happen. And she's like, again, I get it. We chose you to be the leader. I just don't want us to move out of fear and make moves, fear-based moves. And he's like, it's not about fear. It's about, us taking our life back, things like that. And Christina's still being emotional. And of course,
Robin
has to come and
put her little 2 pennies in. And ain't nobody asked for.
Yes.
And she's like, well, Cody, tell her why.
Yeah.
Tell her why we're moving. So hold up, Robin. You know why, but don't nobody else know why, to the point where he needs to express to her why. Why are you even talking? That's the why.
Yeah. And she's still in this segment again. She's just showing her colors, man, because when it's the whole, she was like, well, I thought you wanted to move. And he's like, no, I don't want to move, but it's about, taking our lives back, things like that. And she was like, I thought you always wanted to move. And what is Robin?
Listening.
But you say, well, we're going to move regardless of what you say. So how's that listening to my point of view? You gotta tell her why you think we should move, Cody. I just don't want to make decisions in fear.
I'm sorry. I know you feel like we're making a decision in fear. I have made a decision for me. Like on some level, in spite of any potential collateral damage, the emotions of the children, moving to school, the financial struggle that it'll be because of this change. In spite of all of that, I feel like that I know what needs to happen. And
I thought you wanted to move. I always felt like you are so excited to move and you want to move and start over again and you don't want to do this anymore.
I'm doing that for the sake of leadership. If I don't go optimistically, then
you don't want to move?
If I'm going kicking and screaming, then what do you think my children and my wives are going to do?
I thought you wanted to move. I didn't know that you were just being optimistic.
She's the only one on the couch. The other wives are, just sitting there being a bit contemplative. And she's like, no. Like, Cody can't express for himself that he didn't want to make this move, per se.
I don't trust y'all, first of all.
Exactly. These two are in cahoots.
I don't trust you. First of all, Robin, shut up. You just got there less than a microwave meal ago. Shut up. You have no skin in this game.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have absolutely the least to lose. Shh.
Yeah.
Know
if
your
only.
place. And this goes to show, I hate to say it, I'm not one to use the know your place. But as wife number 4, know your place. You got the least skin in the game. Your kids' real community is now their siblings, right? I'm sure they've made a few friends, but they just moved. We're literally talking months ago.
Yeah.
So granted, that might be a big deal because you keep shifting these poor kids. However, for the family that had settled there 16 years, this is a very big deal.
Yeah. But she also mentions, like, no, we need to move away. Just her constant input and running over, like, maybe she's feeling like, oh, well, since I am the new one and I haven't been around, I need to say more, be more vocal. I'm trying, y'all.
So you know what's interesting, y'all? When Nicole says that, it brings to my mind in this episode, she was like, "Oh, I felt like it was Mary and Christine's kitchen, remember?" And in this episode, when they were cooking,
when
she
they're
was
making
like,
dinner.
"I felt like it was Mary and Christine's kitchen, and I didn't want to overstep, but maybe I need to assert myself more."
Looks mighty fine.
Yeah, we're just gonna say it's done. Can we still
I liked working in the kitchen together. I just have to say that.
Could have been just a little bit bigger kitchen.
Yeah, that's an awful small kitchen for 4 wives.
And maybe a little bit more counter space. Right, a lot more counter space. Chips and salsa, Robin. We've got some pico de gallo.
I felt like it was kind of Christine and Mary's kitchen, and I was like, no, it's not a bad thing. It was just I actually probably should assert myself more.
You're right.
So you don't assert yourself in the motherfucking kitchen, but you assert yourself in the wrong places.
Well, because you know,
you assert yourself with Cody when you're in alignment with Cody, but you don't do nothing with the other.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Just the behavior of her in this episode leads me to believe this is something her and Cody talked about first.
Yeah. And they're on one accord.
Yeah.
What's interesting is Mary and Janelle don't say much.
No.
And all I kept thinking is, Janelle, so does your job follow you? Do you work from home? You don't. You go to an office, sweetie. So if you guys move, do you have to get a whole new job? And how easy is that going to be for you? Especially since we learned Mary having a hard time finding a job, since people learned she was a polygamist. Like, did we think about any of this?
No.
Oh.
Did they think about any of this? Who's the one leading the charge?
Right.
Cody.
You know my issue has been, they've been very reactionary. They don't seem very proactive in any of this. They play victim a lot
very reactive.
to the disappointing outcomes that they experience. And I'm like, a lot of this can be handled differently if you guys are more proactive.
Yeah.
Just a bit. But I could be wrong.
And there's literally, like, not much else. I mean, and as you're saying, you know, Mary and Janelle didn't really say much. So, I mean, the one thing Janelle does mention, which is, it shows some discord that has previously happened. You know, she's just talking about how, you know, they're all in the kitchen, but I feel a little bit out of place there.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of distance. I step back a little, like, you know.
And Christine says, well, you know, we don't
consider you less domestic.
Or
we don't consider you less domestic. I don't think of you that way.
Right. And then Janelle goes, well, you know, in the past, there have been some things said about me being lazy.
So it's like I really don't know what to do. And so a lot of times, especially when it comes to the cleaning or the cooking when we're all together, I'll just disengage.
I don't consider you less domestic.
Well, no, it's just more that I don't engage. And then over the years, I would hear comments at the very first about lazy or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And so those are old tapes that are playing. So
and y'all, I gotta say in the back of my mind, all I kept saying is, girl, you bring home the bacon. You ain't gotta cook it up in the pan. Them heifers know the role they play. Y'all are enjoying this cabin because Janelle paid for it. That's it.
Yeah.
At least in a family with four wives.
Yeah. She has the big check.
Right.
She makes the big check.
She has the big check. In a family now, guys, I don't believe this traditionally, but in a family where there's 4 wives, if really only one wife right now is bringing home the big check, I mean, big check, big check.
Yeah.
Let her not have to fry it up in pan.
Yeah.
She bringing home the whole hog, not even just the bacon.
Yeah. Which, it's just interesting to see that, these little things are slowly being mentioned. And she's like, so we're starting to see some of what the discord within the OG3 even were.
Yeah.
And the last thing, I guess, so Mary, the one comment she makes is, kind of after she gets, after Robin gives her gift, and it's a gift, it's two sisters, a figurine of them like holding hands, dancing. And she starts crying, and she's like, "Oh, it's so special, so sweet, so special. It means so much."
Sisters dancing. So cute.
I loved the gift from Robin about sisters. To me, it was just kind of a sweet little thing between her and I thought that was just really sweet.
Mom, can I see what awesome.
That's what's cool about having sister wives is you develop the sister-like relationship, and it's very special to me.
Me too.
That's cool.
That is way cool.
And I just thought it was very interesting because so we have Robin's gift to Mary, but that's the only gift we see. So what did she get the other sister wives?
What did the other sister wives get each other? We don't even see what Mary gave Robin. We only see what Robin gave Mary, and Cody's like, "Oh, that's so beautiful."
I feel like there's a point for that. Though.
Yeah,
like
because she's manipulating.
But she takes more care around Mary.
She does.
Her relationship with Mary.
And I think it has to do with the fact that Mary's the first wife, the only legal wife, and Robin wants that position. I don't trust her. I don't trust her. She's a snake.
She's a snake in the grass.
She's a snake in the grass, in the trees, in the ceiling, in the gutters. She's a snake in the toilet. She's just a snake. I don't like her.
Yeah.
I don't trust her.
Ew.
Even though the OG3 may have their underlying issues, they've made it work for 16 years.
Yeah.
Here comes the snake in the grass that's about to reveal it all. I hope they know. I don't know.
I don't think they know really what they're getting themselves or what they've gotten themselves into.
They signed a deal with the devil. Oops, did I say that? I don't know.
She's a cold-hearted snake. Look into her eyes.
Uh-oh. She's been
telling lies. She has been telling lies.
Yes. All right. Well,
that pretty much wraps up this Sister Wives and Holiday Crisis. The crisis of the moving and the discord that this move
is revealing.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Still don't know where they're going yet.
Yeah. To be determined on the way.
I guess. I need to see how this is going to go because that's a lot of people to move. I don't know.
I'm just saying, with past moves and with past organization, even traveling, we've seen how things have gone with them, and it hasn't been too smooth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. This is a whole move out of state. So we'll see.
I don't know.
We shall see.
But all right, so it's that time again. So those of you who have watched us know it is twist time. So let's see what message we have for the collective coming. Okay. Let's pick a roll of the dice.
Okay, one. You can decide which one.
I want the angel numbers.
Okay, card, book. It's the book. And let's see. So since we had soul chakra tree. Gold. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So while Nicole is shuffling the cards, I picked the angel number book. And so what came to me in the angel number book, I just opened it randomly. And the first thing my eyes landed on was number 531, which is priorities. And it says, reestablish what serves you. There are relationships in your life that may not serve you in the long run. Revisit the time and attention you invest in those who may be toxic. Set boundaries for future interactions with people who know how to take but don't necessarily know how to give. Now, I don't know if I'm channeling Sister Wives, the episode we just saw, and that says Robin, or Cody. But I think we all have Robins and Codys in our lives, and are we able to identify them, and do we set up the proper boundaries? Because when we don't do that, we're actually giving so much more than I think is healthy. And so let's really look at the people in our lives and make sure the relationships that we are nourishing are the ones that are reciprocal.
All right. Well, so originally the item on the roll for the card said a card, soul, chakra, tree card. So when I kind of just, selected cards from, this is kind of, you create your own deck information. So the two cards that came out were Buddha, and You Are Changing. So it, again, very much aligns with priorities. Reestablishing what serves you, as many know, with Buddha, he actually left everything behind because he felt a deeper calling. He had to reestablish and redefine what was best for him. And in the process of doing that, was able to find alignment and enlightenment. And again, just you are changing. It is time to make these changes, make the steps for what reestablishing, redefining what does serve you in order to properly change, in order to...
And have that balance in your life. Re-secure yourself.
Yes.
Re-secure yourself. Things are out of whack for a lot of us, but it doesn't have to be.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be.
Yes.
So
reestablish, redefine, and move towards the light.
Yes, I'm with that all day. All right, guys. So we hope this message helped you. We hope that you enjoyed our little recap on the Hot Mess Express with the Sister Wives, and we hope you'll come back and join us again. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. We love to hear from you. And until next time, guys, I'm Tracy.
I'm Nicole. We love you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye,
Have
guys.
a great one. Bye.